Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me as well, guys, and we ready to do. We've been MIA, missing in action, for the last week or so. But I just want to say I'm glad to be back. Want to say I appreciate everybody in the chat line. Let us know where you're from, guys. Let us know where you're from. Hopefully we can get you inside the Hall of Fame today. Let you get your piece of the action, your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. But don't get sued for that. That's Robin Leach stuff from back in the day.
Yeah, rest in peace to Robin Leach.
Rest in peace, Robin Leach. So I don't want nobody to think I'm trying to steal somebody's stuff. That's Robin Leach from back in the day. But yeah, man.
Robin Leach was like, I don't think a lot of people my generation know who Robin Leach is, but Robin Leach, I heard him on the Howard Stern show maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10 years ago. The boy was still out there living. He had some 22-year-old with him at the Howard Stern show, always on top. And he's like, when she gets about 25, I'm going to get me a new one. he was crazy. He was living.
That's a baller, man. That's a baller.
He was living.
It's like health. You know what I mean? Health was a player, man, to the end. Is what it's all about. And that's what life's all about, man, is playing this thing out all the way to the end. That's what life's all about, playing it out all the way to the end. But yeah, man, coming off of a big weekend. But about yourself, Bob, how was your weekend? How'd it go?
Well, weekend was good. You and I hit the links on Saturday.
Yeah.
I got a nice little farmer's tan going from that, so that I appreciate. And I ordered some new golf gloves, and I was looking into lessons today because it didn't go. I had some shots. I will say I was proud of myself on certain moments, but the driving is my biggest flaw. Yeah. I got to get the driving out first. I got to figure that out, Book. It's just. It's a little frustrating. It's a little frustrating, to say the least.
Look here, bro. I've been trying to figure it out for quite some time. Okay, you can't do it. You just can't do it. I know you and I, we went out on Saturday, but I was sitting around the house on Sunday, and I felt useless. You know what I mean? I felt like, why am I here on this earth? Just laying here on the sofa. I'm not doing anything productive. The wife, she wasn't feeling all that great, so she was in there taking a nap. The kids was upstairs on the iPad, so they was totally just dissing me, And so I'm like, man, I got to do something. So I got up and I went and played. I don't know, I didn't play 18, but I probably played about 15. And front nine, I shot a 3 over. And I felt at 39. I felt real good about myself. The back nine wasn't as good, but I felt good about getting up off that sofa and getting out of the house, even though, around the golf, 4 hours, 3.5 hours in the sun, it's like a work day, bro.
Sure.
You're tired, man. All you want to do is go home, eat, take a nap. For me, lay on the wife's lap. Groove my beard or something. Then pick up on Sunday to get out and do it again. Definitely testing myself here as of late and trying to push myself and see exactly how far I can go and how good I can actually get, getting ready for this scratch, golf. So I got to be right when I get out there. I got to be looking good.
Did you see the Travelers Cup that went on over the weekend?
What a hell of a
wow!
What a hell of a tournament! What a hell of a playoff! And two young guys, man, battling it out. That's something you don't often see. In the PGA, especially when you got the big guns, in the tournament. Is two young guys. I wouldn't say unknown or anything like that, but two guys that you definitely don't expect to see duking it out like that. I think they went 2 hours in overtime.
It was like 8 holes, I think.
Claimed the winner of the Travelers. Yeah, so
Harris English, the winner. Yeah. But I was watching Bubba Watson, and he looked like he had it all locked up. He was minus 13 going into the last couple holes, and then something happened. It just clicked in his head to where he was hitting the ball in the trees. I think he double bogeyed.
Wait a minute, Brad.
Yes, I am here.
I thought we lost you there for a second. Yeah, man. That's the way the golf game is, man. You could be totally on. Your game is clicking, and then all of a sudden, boom, the wheels fall off. I always mention, a guy who used to compete with Tiger Woods back in the day. Guy doing commentary now by the name of David Duval. Back in the day, he was running neck and neck with Tiger. Now, the guy probably can't shoot break 80. Yeah, he's working with me right now. But that's the way the golf game is. It's such a mental game. You can't have literally even, the hacker like myself, you can't have anything in your mind when you go out there to play around the golf, especially I wouldn't say go out and play, but when you're getting ready to hit that ball. Anything is taking up space inside your head is definitely the shot is going to be secondary to what's going on. So it's such a focus factor game to whereas, you watch the pros go out there and hit the ball 300 yards consistently and make it look effortlessly. It's not. It's the hardest thing I've ever tried to learn from an athletic perspective. And I always consider myself very athletic.
Yeah, I mean, it's more so, it's not even about the power, right, or the build that you have. You'll see some guys go out there who look like they couldn't, hit it 5 yards, and they're the ones who hit it 300 off the tee, no problem. So it's one of those games that I find enjoyable even when I'm not doing good at it. Even I think what's the phrase? Any day you can play around a golf is a good day, no matter how well or poorly you do. So I enjoyed it on Saturday, Book. I did. I enjoyed watching it and I enjoyed playing it.
Yeah. Hey man, the game is still definitely intact. Even though Tiger, they flashed some pictures of Tiger, man, and he's back on his feet. Hopefully, Tiger can get back in the game and do something magical, create something that we never would have imagined. Hopefully, that's what Tiger's end game going to be. But man, the team that I'm riding with, man, right now, dog. I just wondered, did you check them out?
You better not say the Bucks. Oh my good God!
That boy Giannis, man. Giannis the best player in the league, man. I mean,
what? Now that you say this, they're not going to win the championship. You know what I mean? Now that you said that, Giannis he's not even a top. I wouldn't even put him in the top 5.
What?
He's not even in the top 5.
What? Are you kidding me?
Top 10.
Look, man. Look here. Giannis taking them boys all the way to the promised land. All the way to the promised land.
It wasn't even him who won him the game last night. It was Chris Middleton.
Well, Middleton just got hot. And the thing is, you ever played NBA jams?
Of course. He's on fire.
Exactly. That's what that was. That's what that was. The boy got caught. He caught a fire, man. And when you got a player like that, what do? You dish him the ball. He's not going to do that every night. When he's rolling, when he's hot, you give him the ball. When Giannis don't have to do all the work, like come in. I mean, come on now. Come on. Come on. Giannis driving. Giannis doing his job. Giannis, he can shoot a 3 if he want to.
No, he can't. He airballed it last night. But I don't even think he hit the net.
But lately, Giannis been doing what a real center, a mains position. He's been doing what a center is supposed to do, and that's drive into the paint and get me 2 points. Put the ball in the bucket. Get me a foul. Do what you got to do, young man, by any means necessary. That's why the Bucks shutting these boys down right now. That's why you see the
2-1.
That's why you see the shimmy of young Trey. It ain't as fluid as it once was. He's running into something that he's having to, and the thing is when you just start falling down, acting like you hurt, you know what I mean?
You're so terrible.
That's when, I got to question your heart more than anything.
Look, Giannis is good. He's definitely good, but he reminds me of Shaq when Shaq was on the Orlando Magic. You know what I mean? He's got some moves. He's not going to really nail it from three. His free throws aren't going to be the best, but he's powerful. He's dominant. He's unstoppable in the paint. But what I want to say, hold on, because I know you're a front runner. You like to jump to whoever looks like they're going to be the best team. It doesn't matter who comes out of the East. The Suns are taking this thing. Suns are going to go 5, 6 games at most.
Whatever, man. Whatever. You're in the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
This is Booker T World Gym Arena in Texas City, the home to the Reality of Wrestling Training Center. It's a 20,000 square foot facility with more than 50 full-time students and wrestlers from around the world. Inside the World Gym Arena sits a 9,000 square foot venue set up for weekly shows. From up top, 1-2 moonsault, where our students showcase their skills in front of a live audience.
What he's done here is awesome. He's created opportunity and he's creating great talent, as you guys well know.
In the back, a full weight room.
6 up,
complete with state-of-the-art equipment and personal trainers.
There you go. Two more.
A full staff and office personnel.
One more.
Running the day-to-day operation. We have interview sets for TV production, promo classes, quarterly combines. We evaluate progression and team building. Referees, commentators, ring announcers, and live television production. At the World Gym Arena, we don't just teach you how to become a professional wrestler, but an elite sports entertainer. This is Reality of Wrestling.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. It's just a lot of haters out there, man. It's a lot of haters out there. A lot of people don't want to, get on this Buck bandwagon. But right now, it's all about fear the deer. That's what it's all about right now.
I don't like you. Fear the deer. Here he comes, man. Before it was the Lakers, and now you're hashtag fear the deer. You came on here 4 weeks ago. It's showtime. It's showtime, baby. And now look at you. Now look at you.
Hey, man.
You're rooting for a team in Milwaukee.
I'm just saying. Fear the deer. That's all I have to say.
Fear the deer. But
like
by
that.
the way,
I like that. That's something they've been saying. I like it. It sounds good.
Look, did you hear today, Scottie Pippen, to stay in the realm of basketball, did you hear him today?
No, I didn't.
On Dan Patrick? Scottie, I don't know what's gotten into Scottie. Scottie said, I'm talking today. I'm telling everybody what I think. He said, because Phil Jackson didn't give him the final shot in the 94 playoffs and he gave it to Tony Kukoc, Phil Jackson's a racist. He said that was a racist move.
No, wait a minute.
That's what he said. I'm not lying. That's what he said. Huh?
He said Phil Jackson's a racist because he didn't get the ball?
Because he didn't draw up the play for Scottie. He said that was a racial move and Phil Jackson's a racist. And he said, I feel comfortable saying that he was a racist. The other thing that was crazy that he said is they talked about Michael going to baseball. And he said, Michael, that was a selfish decision. But that's who Michael Jordan is. He made a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Phil behind the scenes, but to say that Phil was racist for not giving you the ball, that's quite the claim.
Well, you got to give me some more evidence than that.
Right.
Okay. You just can't say because you didn't get the ball, man is racist or anything like that, as well as Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan might have been selfish.
Sure.
Sometimes you got to be selfish, when you that great,
But also, he was dealing with the loss of his dad. Right. I mean, after his dad died, he wasn't the same, person.
Definitely. I mean, but still, when you are the guy that's putting the food on everybody else's table, and you come to the point to us, you say, man, look, I don't feel like doing this no more. I'm gonna go do something else. That's what you do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I wouldn't say. I mean, I don't know, man. These guys that come out and say stuff like that many years later and whatnot, it make me question them. I don't know Scottie Pippen. I don't know what his motives are for coming out and making a claim like Phil Jackson is a racist because he didn't get the ball because the play was drawn up for Kukoc. But did they win the game?
I think that was the
I'm saying at the end of the day, it's like a wrestling match. I've been in many wrestling matches, and rest assured that when whoever it was that I was wrestling, no matter if I was on the top or the bottom, if the crowd did what they supposed to do at the 1, 2, 3, we both was really happy. We knew we did our jobs. You know what I mean? So when I hear somebody talk like that, man, who is the selfish one? When you hear that kind of talk, I could be wrong, but it's just my opinion on that.
I mean, I tend to agree with you there. I tend to agree with you just based on. I mean, even in the interview earlier, he said, that was my season. It was the first, season I had without Michael. And, why couldn't I get the ball? Why couldn't I get the last shot? Michael always got the last shot. Why couldn't I get the last shot? And I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he was saying in this interview. I mean, it was pretty crazy to, it's pretty crazy to me. This is what he said. I don't think it's a mystery. You need to read between the lines. It was my first year playing without Michael Jordan. Why wouldn't I be taking the last shot? I've been through all the ups and downs, the paddles with the Pistons, and now you're going to insult me and tell me to take it out? I thought it was a pretty low blow. It felt like an opportunity to give Kukoc a rise. It was a racial move to give him a rise. After all I've been through with this organization, you're going to tell me to take the ball out and throw it to Tony Kukoc? You're insulting me. And then Dan Patrick says, so by calling it a racial move, you're calling Phil Jackson a racist? Pippen says, I don't have a problem with that. Dan Patrick says, do you think Phil Jackson was? Scottie Pippen says, oh, yeah.
Wow.
So there you go, man.
Hey, man.
I don't know.
Some people, as you get older, man, you change, bro. You change as you get older. Your mind start, like the ghetto boy said, start playing tricks on you. You know what I mean?
For real.
That's true, too, man. And, I hope to God, that I don't lose my mind. More than anything.
How old's Scottie? Scotty's only like 53, 54, isn't he?
He's like my age, you know what I mean? Maybe a couple of years younger. But a lot of times, man, you just start slipping and start seeing stuff that's not really there. Scottie made, some good money. I thought he would still be living relatively well, but we don't. But one thing we don't see. Just think about it. We don't see Scottie Pippen on any of these commentator jobs or anything like that. We don't see him hanging out with, any of the boys. We don't hear people talking about Scottie Pippen like, he was a good friend or anything like that. I mean, do you have you? And normally, that's for a reason. We always hear people talk about Jordan, okay? Not just, people like you and I who were fans, but his peers.
Right.
And all of them talk about, man, Mike this, Mike that, Mike. That right there can get under one's skin when a player was as great as Scottie Pippen was.
Yeah.
Not get the recognition. I could be there again, guys. I could be wrong. But that's just my take on something like that when I see it.
I'm sure to a certain extent it's annoying that every time you sit down to do an interview to promote anything you got going on, one of the first questions is like, okay, so when you were on the Bulls, what did Michael, such and such? I'm sure after a while that gets old, and I can even sympathize at that to a certain extent. But to if your only evidence of calling somebody racist is that the fact that they didn't pass you or draw up a play to pass you the ball, that's a pretty wild accusation to make. There could be more to it. I don't know. I wasn't in the locker room.
Well,
but that's the first I've ever heard of that.
If Phil Jackson called him the N-word,
that's the issue.
Then we'll have a problem.
That's the issue.
But him not getting the ball The hell with Scottie Pippen and all the pimples on his face and all that. He need to get some Claricel or some of that Oxy 5000 or something to clear that stuff up. But talking about somebody racist because he didn't get the ball, that is ridiculous, brother.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
I'm not finna condone that. I'm not finna put my stamp of approval on something like that.
Now, look, there could be more to it, but that's the first I've ever heard of anybody saying that about Phil. So, I mean, like I said, there could be more to it, but I watched that whole documentary.
I tell you, like I say, sometimes I feel like, the world is definitely going in a place to where we really don't want to be. What?
He said he needs to get some Claricel, some Oxy 5000.
That's just jokes. I'm just playing.
Yo, his skin looks great now.
I'm just playing. The brother look actually real good now. His stuff is all cleaned up and everything. I'm talking about back then. Back then
he didn't have that great contract either. You know what I mean? He got the come up now.
Scottie Pippen he had something to complain about.
Oh man, that's crazy.
No, man, no.
Crazy.
Like I say, it really can be toxic to your ears. Hearing, so much about somebody like Michael.
I get that. I mean,
so great.
Playing along with Mike,
yeah,
it can do that to you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So, anyway, people are loving you in the chat. Well, enough of Scottie Pippen. And he's got a memoir coming out in August. I'm sure he's going to talk more about all this stuff then. But I think that there's a lot of stuff going on in the pro wrestling world that I know people want to get to. Edge came back amongst other things. So I'm sure we'll get all to that. Some big news too in UFC that we got to break down. So basketball aside, the sports world's been crazy, Book.
No, definitely my world of sports and entertainment.
Yes.
That's something that we want to make sure we pronounce it like this. Sports and entertainment, guys. That's what it is. Get your dose of it. And we got to talk about what's been going on in professional wrestling. And my thing is this. I look at the young guys. I look at the young guys coming up. Look at the young guys that's getting a shot, a chance to come up. Guys like Karrion Kross. I want to talk about those guys. Who do we think should be the next guy to come up and make an impact on the main roster? I want to talk about guys like Keith Lee. Where's Keith Lee at, man? What are we doing with Keith Lee? And is the problem that Keith Lee is dealing with really that serious enough to where we haven't seen him this long on television? Because Keith Lee is a talent, trained by one of the best, Killer Tim Brooks, down there in Dallas, Texas, a guy that I got a chance to, wrestle, when I was coming up. Guy beat the hell out of me in the middle of that square circle. But yeah, I want to talk about these guys, man, and what is actually really going on. We're going to find out. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer, and this is for all up-and-coming professional wrestlers, male and female. You want to know the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts. You got a question, I got the answer. If you want to know how, join my masterclass. Go to realityofwrestling.com for all the information. Starting on Thursday and every Thursday after that, guys. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. And I know you can dig that.
The Academy.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Yeah. There again, I want to thank everybody in the chat that's hanging out with us here today. Yeah, man, we're just doing it, hanging out, talking about what actually really is going on as far as the young guys coming up. Brad, what we got, man?
Yeah, we got a super chat real quick before we get into that conversation. Andre Photography. Super. I got to still work on that super chat. Hey. Andre Photography TV with the $10 says, hey, Booker T, in WCW, you would walk to the ring and have sayings like, my daddy used to say, I'm going to give you something to cry about, sucker. Why didn't you say these things in WWE?
It was true when I said stuff like that. When I was coming up, I used to cry all the time. And my mama used to say, you want to cry? I'm going to give you something to cry for. You know, and find a switch and go to whooping my behind. And then I have a reason to cry. You know, so it was just sayings that were real. You know, the best comedians, they just talk real life. They're just talking about what actually really went on in their household. And they bring it to the screen and they tell you about it and talk about it a certain way. And it sounds funny, but a lot of the stuff, you know, like Richard Pryor talked about, you know, Eddie Murphy talked about, it was real. Right. And for me, I said it in my documentary, for my brother and I to portray two guys, you know, from the neighborhood. It was easy. It wasn't that hard because we were just two guys from the neighborhood. People say, man, how did that slip up, you know, and, you know, make that, you know, ultimate mistake on television, you know, that one time. It was just because I was from the neighborhood. I'm no different. You know, I just got caught up in the moment. I went back to the neighborhood for a second, you know, so, man, that kind of stuff for me, it was just easy. Yeah, it was in my safe element.
Well, let's go back to what we were talking about. Some of the new guys you mentioned. Keith Lee. Keith Lee. It's been an odd story. I mean, we haven't seen Keith Lee on television in what, 6 months? 5-6 months? Easy.
Yeah. Last time we saw him on television, he was in the middle of the championship picture, and all of a sudden, you know, three-way dance, and then all of a sudden, bang, you know, he was out. And we haven't seen Keith Lee pretty much since. So yeah, he's definitely a guy that's on my radar because he was a guy that was making a lot of noise. Yeah, he's a guy that was touted to be, you know, a guy that was going to make some major moves in the WWE in that title picture. Bobby Lashley picked up the slack pretty much, you know, and came in and took the reins and took off, you know, got the rocket on his back and took off straight to the moon. But for a second there, that was a spot that Keith Lee was about to, you know, step right into, and all of a sudden it was all, you know, shut down like that. And I know everybody wonders about Keith Lee more than anything, but for me, you know, of course I care about his in-ring career and his future and whatnot, but his health is so much more important than anything that's going on inside that square circle. So I just hope the brother is, you know, I just hope he's okay more than anything, because we've seen a few tweets that's been kind of cryptic from Keith Lee, not really saying exactly what's what, saying, you know, more is more to come. I'm going to be talking, but nothing really concrete. So I just want to say, as far as Keith Lee goes, hopefully whatever is going on, we get it fixed sometime here relatively quick, because a lot of people miss the brother. I just want to say that. But as far as young guys coming up, yeah, who would you like to see make that crossover and do something on the main roster?
Well, you know, there was talks last week that a few NXT talent had somewhat tryouts. They either worked main event or they did a dark match before SmackDown.
You know, I never worked main event before. You know.
Wait. Let me get it straight. You haven't worked the show main event, but you've worked in the main event.
I worked in the main event, but I've never worked on that show main event. Yeah. It's good for guys coming up though. But go ahead.
Thanks for the trivia fact there. Hashtag fear the deer. No, some of the people that they called up to do like these little trial matches or whatever they are, dark matches, or just to see them. I think everybody that was on that list that I saw online, every one of them I think could be a star. I think that Karrion Kross, 100%. I think he's got it. I know that you've kind of been in and out a little bit on him, right?
No, I've been all in on.
Oh, you've been all in. Okay, maybe somebody.
I mean, he's a throwback.
He's just a big dude. He looks like a big
guy,
dude.
he looked like a grown man when he walks out the curtain. There's no discrepancy as far as, man, this guy here, he's a big guy. He comes out and work like a big guy. I like everything about Karrion Kross.
Well,
He looks mean. He's got the scowl. You know what I mean? Like, when Mick used to tell, bad boy, it's a scowl. He's like that. You know what I mean?
Your Burgess Meredith impression is off the charts.
There's nothing pretty about Karrion Kross. The brother comes out and get the job done. I love to see him, make a move to the main roster. You know what? I think I would have loved to see Karrion Kross to have come directly to the main roster.
I don't disagree with that. But let me ask you this, because what I found interesting is he went out there and he did a match by himself, right? I mean, not by himself. I mean, he obviously had a partner to work with, Shelton Benjamin. But when he came out to the ring, there was no Scarlett Bordeaux, right? She actually did a match, I think, on SmackDown, like as a dark match, a little tryout match. I think that them as a package is money. I think that separately they could be money too, but I think that whole thing of Karrion Kross's entrance coming out with Scarlett, that whole thing I feel like is a part of what sells him for me, right? Do you think that would be a mistake if they kind of split them up and let them go their separate paths, give Scarlett a run in the women's, give Karrion a run by himself on Raw or something like that, or should they keep them together?
Honestly, I got to look at that thing in two different ways.
Okay.
Of course, it's money. Of course, I like the look of Scarlett along with Karrion Kross. It's a cool look. Just the intro that they have built. People have grown to accustomed to want to see it. Right.
100%.
But this is my thing. When you're not a real couple, you know what I mean? When you ain't got true love for each other and you paired up with each other like that, and it's like for the long haul, it could definitely be it could be hard. It really can.
They're together in real life.
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's something I didn't know. It might work. It definitely something that could work a whole lot better from that perspective, because they got to go home with each other. They got to be with each other, on a 24/7 basis. And then to be able to have that, on the road when, both of you guys are pretty much out there for that one common goal. Create something, make some money, and walk away from the thing together, walking. I can see that working. So I would want to keep it together opposed to break it up. I can say that.
Yeah, I mean, especially like you said, if they're a legit couple, which they are, like Macho and Elizabeth, you and Sharmell, Lana and Rusev. You can make it work, and I think that them as a package.
And that's why I said that, because I don't know any couples that wasn't together that made something like that last for a career.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't think of anybody.
I can't name one.
Yeah,
that actually made that a career, that was together as a duo on camera, but wasn't off camera and went through their full career. I can't name one. It's just not going to work. I just can't see it.
Yeah, I was trying to think if Sherry kind of went around, right? I mean, she was with y'all for a while. She was with Sean. She was with different Randy for a while, right?
Yeah. She was a manager. I mean,
she was a true manager.
Yeah.
Not a valet, really. She was a true manager.
A valet.
I'm trying to think. I don't think you're right. I don't know if there's been anybody who wasn't a legit couple who made it for the entirety of the career together.
Yeah, they would do it for a minute.
For a minute, yeah, sure.
I mean,
Lita and Edge.
Most of the time, they had a real connection, like Goldust and
Terry.
Terry, yeah, exactly. It was always some kind of connection there to actually be able to make that make that really work. And I say that because Charmel talks about it all the time. When I was King Booker, it was so easy for her to play that role because when I was getting beat up, she could actually feel what I was going through. And it was almost like she was feeling every bit of pain, that I would feel, in the middle of the ring. She knew exactly, how to play a cue because she would just do it from a realistic perspective because we were together. And that's what made it so special. So yeah, I think Cross and Scarlett should be a duo if they can make it work, because 2 paychecks coming to the house, baby, is always better than one. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Oh my goodness, here he comes. The precision tactician, the chosen one, Rex Andrews. And we have to remind everyone how Rex Andrews got here. He won the last man stand match, defeating all of those other competitors and had an opportunity to choose any championship that he wanted.
When I was in Japan, I knew whose championship I was coming to take. Behind door number 1, we got the television championship. The championship that I held for a year and a half. Brought it up to prestige. Maybe I want one more run. But behind door number 2, the Texas championship. The title that was made for me. The inaugural champion. Traveled the country defending that championship. But then behind door number 3, the one title I haven't held.
Rex, I respect you. I respect everywhere you went, every title you won. But you come out here and tell me that you're what a champion looks like, that you're what a champion talks like. As long as I'm holding this title, this is what a champion looks like. This is what el campeón looks like. Marcellus Black versus Gino. Evan Snow versus Gino. Eddie Cristiano versus Gino. There's one thing in common in that. Now we got Rex Andrews versus Gino.
This is not probably one of the biggest matches in reality wrestling history. This is the biggest match that this company has ever promoted. The only reason you still have that championship, the only reason is because you took the easy way out. Last match we had, you knew you were beat, and you hit me with that low blow. Gino doesn't have the grit. Gino doesn't have the determination. Gino does not have the ability to stop me.
Shup! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. Yeah, man, we're just talking a little bit of sports and entertainment. Who else on that list, man? Who else on that list?
Well, somebody who passed through our doors down to reality wrestling once or twice, and I just think that she's just got something, an X factor, if you will. That's Shotzi Blackheart. Now, she's been doing a teaming with Ember Moon down there in NXT for a while. I think they're going after the NXT women's tag titles, but I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that she's the greatest professional wrestler I've ever seen, but she's got this it factor, this I'm not exactly sure what she's going to do in the match. She's willing to risk it all to go out there and get the W. Interesting look, interesting entrance. I just like her overall. What do you think about Shotzi?
You know, I say, as far as Shotzi go, I say go back and watch the last Tough Enough because you're going to see a transformation as far as Shotzi Blackheart go from the little girl that was on Tough Enough. A lot of people don't even remember her from being on Tough Enough. But I thought, you know, when she got kicked off on the show, I definitely didn't agree with it. I was like, nah, this girl here, she has something. She had more heart than just about everybody on that show. She was willing to learn. You could tell she was very coachable, even though it was something that she was just getting off into. And then not only did she not win the money, she didn't get a contract like a lot of those, you know, young guys did, even though they didn't win. So right. She went out on the independent circuit and worked her butt off creating that Shotzi Blackheart gimmick, the helmet, you know, and everything, the colors, everything. And then WWE hired her and added a whole lot more to it by giving her the tank and all of that stuff and whatnot.
Tank is sweet.
It's just that's her creation, and I just give her so much props because she didn't quit. She didn't, take a different route. She didn't go try to be a reality star on some other show that just popped up or anything like that. You could tell this was a dream and a passion for Shotzi. And I'm looking forward for her to get her main roster shot. I don't know if it's too soon or anything like that. Can she still spend some time in NXT? Of course she can. Is she ready for the main roster? I think so.
I think so too. And she's got kind of a Jeff Hardy kind of vibe, right? Or a
she all caution to the wind, man.
Right. All caution to the wind.
She will throw her body out there and she'll take the charge, man. in a heartbeat. I like everything about Shotzi Blackheart as a worker. She goes out and work well far and beyond someone who's been in the business as short of a time that she's been in. Honestly, she really does.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I think she's got the total package here. Stellar Justin Lopez, $10 says super chat.
Chat. I'm changing it, man. It's got to be big time. It's got to have some bass in it.
Do it one more time.
Super chat. Sounds better, man. Yeah.
It does. Cross needs to come up like Asuka, undefeated, vacating like Asuka did. There's no reason to experiment separating them. It already works. Last week, he looked like a generic big man number 241 without her. So that's referring to Cross and Scarlett.
It's like when they used to ask me about, certain big guys, hey, Book, what do you think about such as he's a big guy. No, but what do you think about it? He's a big guy.
Big guy. Big guy.
No, I mean, I like that description. Without, Scarlett, him being just another big guy. Him with Scarlett definitely gives him something a little bit different than what's going on out there right now. And to be different in this business where everybody is doing the exact same thing is very, very important. I say that all the time. The little bitty things, and that's what that is. Can the guy go out and wrestle on his own? Of course he can. But the package for me, just like Lana and Rusev, we talked about it. It meant so much for those two to be together opposed to being apart. I feel the same way with these two. Can we do something with Scarlett and put the rocket on her in the women's division? Of course we can. I mean, she's a worker. We've had her at Reality of Wrestling.
Yeah.
She's done a hell of a job. I'm talking about selling tickets, man. Big time here at Reality of Wrestling. So, yeah. Is she a star? Yes, she is. But sometimes, I really feel like serving the purpose is a much bigger picture than, just doing it just because we can. And I say that about and I'm just saying that in reference, just say, for instance, Sharmell being a wrestler. And I told Sharmell, I say, baby, you could train us. You're very athletic. I say, but that's not your spot. You know what I mean? I say that's not what you was intended to be. Could she do it? Yes, but being with me and being right along by my side, making me so much better, enhancing what I did, enhance everything that we did as a couple, in the ring as well as out of the ring.
Yeah,
that's why I say that.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Stellar Justin Lopez, again, with another $5, says they need more women, though, on SmackDown. There's only 7 active women on that roster, so I expect plenty of call-ups in the next few weeks. 7? That's it? Well, yeah, if there's only 7 women in your whole division, you need to probably shake it up a little bit and have some new faces.
I think we need more women in the division, and we just need more women on the show, period. Do it. I didn't really think about how important the Nitro girls were back in the day. Man, going into commercial break with the Nitro girls and coming out of commercial break with the Nitro girls, that was innovative. I was like, man, I cannot wait to see the Nitro girls this week. You know what I mean? It was just that element of soft touch, and I think with professional wrestling, sports entertainment, I just think we can do so much more with that without actually going over the edge and making it, the Attitude Era or anything like that, but still giving women, it's just like the Evolution pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Okay. We only did that once, right?
Yeah.
Was that a good idea or not?
I think it was.
I thought it was a great idea.
I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was one of the best shows all year.
I thought it was a great idea. I thought being able to do something like that, I don't think it's taking away anything from the men or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just think it's adding more to what people really want to see. Just think about all the ladies that's going to buy the pay-per-view for that reason and for that reason. I'm thinking about the money, baby. I'm thinking about that paper at the end of the day. But having a nucleus, everything going on for one reason, I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah, Evolution was just it was a great show, and yeah, I think that what WWE has done a really good job of when they made that decision of, hey, we're going to give the women more emphasis on the show after that Give Divas a Chance thing kind of kicked off. Ever since they made that decision, the women's matches on every show, for the most part, have always felt way more important than they used to. And they don't put the women in that little slot anymore between the main event and the co-main event. Remember, they used to do that on the show. It'd be like the match that you want to see, then the women, and then we'll give you the main event, right? We're going to give you that little cool-off period. They don't do that anymore because the fans now have been regimented into wanting to see the women compete at a high level. That's why Bianca and Sasha got to main event night one of WrestleMania this year, because it was a match that a lot of people wanted to see. I think that you always need to bring new people in and new faces in, or else for a while there, it kind of felt like you had Charlotte, Sasha, Becky, and Bayley. And that was like the whole division was around those four women. And when you bring in more people like Bianca Belair or whomever else that they're thinking about bringing up, I think it just, like you said, it makes it just feel like a more well-rounded division. There's more things to do for everybody on there. We have a couple more super chats, Book. I don't know. Should we take them after the break?
Let's see here. What we got left?
We got about a minute.
No, let's take one.
Okay. This is Roland Curtis. What do you guys think of the ridiculousness of Eva Marie? Why is this lady on Raw and Ember Moon on NXT? Ember's finisher is the best in the business.
I haven't seen a whole lot of
Eva.
It's
only been 2 weeks, and they haven't really done anything.
In the video, has she actually gotten in the ring yet? Has she worked?
She's gotten in the ring, sort of. She hasn't wrestled a match, but she's been in the ring a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
She looks great.
She looks great, of course. I don't know if it's it's an experiment. It's an experiment, but I don't know. It's hard for me to say. But should Ember Moon, be on the main roster? I think Ember Moon, she could be on the main roster any day of the week. Do she serve a better purpose in NXT? I think so. Is the money the same? You know what I mean? I don't know. But if it is, I'm not crying about not being on the main roster. I tell people all the time that I probably would have retired at WCW if the company would not have gone out of business. Just because I wasn't itching to get to WWE, for that stardom rub or anything like that. I was just happy making some money. And I don't know what Ember's thinking about, but hopefully she's just thinking about making some money. You're in the Hall of Fame, guys. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. People may think I'm crazy. Go ahead.
No. What are you gonna say?
People may think I'm crazy. When they hear me talk like that, sometimes as far as the money, being on SmackDown, being on Raw. I'm dead serious when I speak on. At the end of the day, it's about getting a check. It's about making some money. In any movie that one go and do, I think going and creating a movie is one thing, but if they were doing that movie without, thinking about the check gonna, be there at the end of the day and the royalties, they ain't thinking properly. That's just my opinion on that right there. So.
Well, I mean, it's funny you bring that up. I just was listening to Ice-T talk, and he was talking about being an actor. He said the first movie he ever did, I think it was New Jack City, and he got paid $27,000 for it, right? Second movie he did, he got paid $47,000 for it, right? And he said, I'm making this movie for $47,000 thinking, man, like I really love this script, but, I'd like to make a little bit more money doing this acting thing, right? He said as soon as he was thinking that on this set, he got a call from his agent, and they're like, hey, we have this role for you. I don't know if you'd take it. And he's like, well, what's the role? They're like, you'd be a stripper in Arizona, and you'd also be dressed like a kangaroo, right? And he goes, well, how much does it pay? They said $1 million. He goes, I'm going to get on a plane to Arizona right now. And I'll be a stripping kangaroo for $1 million. It's not about my acting legacy. I'm not going to get any awards for it, but God damn it, I'm going to get some money.
Man, I don't get it, man. Some people think, about getting the title and working for free. I'm not. That's not me. That's why I say Ember Moon. Hopefully, she's thinking about, what she should really be thinking about. And it's from the insider talking to another insider, and that's, making some money. The legacy is one thing you want to create as well. You want to definitely create your legacy, because that's how you continually make money. So that right there is very, very important too. But all of that falls under the same umbrella. Go ahead, Brad.
Well, that's what Shine Bright just chatted in with $5. Do you think that they'll move Shotzi and Ember to the main roster since Raw and SmackDown need more female tag teams and singles competitors? We just talked about Shotzi and Ember. As far as what you think they're both more than qualified to go up to the main roster, and we'll see if WWE makes that call.
That right there too. Shotzi and Ember, they've been doing stuff together, and they've been doing it together for a while, to where people actually, think about it. It's almost like they're giving each other the rub. So if they were to show up as a tag team, they can make some trouble, as well as sometimes, just like getting into the business for myself as a tag team opposed to as a singles wrestler. It gave me so much more, time to actually figure it out. It gave me so much more longevity. And then when I did break out on my own, I got a chance to actually do something. So if Shotzi and Ember could actually work together as a tag team for a minute, it might be good for both of them.
Yeah, we'll see if they make that call. Roland Curtis with another $5 says the all-women's pay-per-view
Super chat.
The all-women's pay-per-view seemed great, but I heard the ratings and money was underwhelming compared to how much it was promoted. Women don't support the WNBA. I don't know.
You know what? There again.
I don't know if that's true.
There again. He might be right. He might be right about that. Roland Curtis, he might be right about that. It might not have, got a bigger pay-per-view buy. That might be true.
Well, I mean, it wasn't on. I mean, it was on pay-per-view, but it was on the WWE network. So I don't know how they really.
That what I'm saying is that may be true, but it doesn't mean you're supposed to stop doing it.
True.
You know what I mean? It means that we're supposed to figure out how we, get people to buy into this. If not, there again, just the women around the world to buy into it, because it's about them and giving them their just due. Just like, for instance, when we have a woman's show at Reality of Wrestling, I want that show to be literally surrounded by nothing but women doing everything. Sharmell, you're in charge tonight. If you guys need me to do something, tell me what to do for tonight. I want to be, the one taking orders in that situation. Can I help? Because I know the business, of course. But to give, my wife that power and all of my ladies that work for me that power, all the female wrestlers, man, that right there is a moment for them. That's why I say, no, you don't stop doing it. You just figure out how we can do it and how we can do it better. That's about it. That's just me.
Yeah. Okay. I agree. I definitely agree. Should we talk about some of the unfortunate releases that went down over the weekend in the WWE? Just some names that I think that people will know: Fandango, Tyler Breeze.
Go ahead. Throw a few names out at me because I've been busy this weekend. I know a few guys got released, but I wasn't sure who it was. But
here are the 13 names of the people who were released. A lot of them from NXT and the 205 Live brand. Killian Dane, who's actually the husband of Nikki Cross. The Bollywood Boys, Sunil and Samir Singh. Marina Shafir, who's one of the 4 horsewomen of MMA. Arturo Rojas, Kurt Stallion, Fandango, Tyler Breeze, Chase Parker, Matt Martell, Tony Nese, and Ari Daivari, and August Gray. So a lot of 205 Live guys. A couple people have been around for a long time. Tyler Breeze, Fandango. What do you think? Anybody stick out to you?
I mean, Ari Daivari, of course, we've had him
here
at Reality of Wrestling, coming off of that magic carpet.
That's every time I see his name, that's what I think of.
I used to love that gimmick when he used to do that. Tony Nese, he's a name that stands out. Fandango, he's another name that stands out.
Do you remember how big Fandango was the night after WrestleMania?
I mean, to
get a win Jericho,
get a win over Chris Jericho
at WrestleMania.
Let me tell you something, man. Fandango is a gimmick that was, I'm gonna tell you, it was tailor made to get over. I mean, that gimmick right there. You should be able to take that gimmick and run it to the moon if you really are serious about the gimmick and take nothing away from I don't know. I don't even know Fandango's real name. I know he was going as Tony Curtis for a minute.
Johnny
right?
Curtis.
Johnny Curtis. I know he was going as Tony Curtis. I know he was going as Johnny Curtis. For a minute. But I don't know his real name. But I do remember when Fandango first got the gimmick, and I remember him not being that good of a dancer. No, for real. And I don't know. Some people may not even think it's true, but I said to him that he should go and take. Okay, you still there, Brad? Okay,
yeah, I'm here.
So you need to be the best dancer you possibly could be to make this thing really, really something special. The voice that Fandango spoke, and I didn't like that. I thought it could have been something a little bit different. But it was all suave and subtle and underneath, but it didn't have any. It didn't have anything where it turned on and turned off. It never really gave you anything to really, really bite in from that perspective. Another guy I think about also is what's his name? Who plays the guitar?
Elias.
Elias. I don't know why my brain is tripping right now. But Elias, I don't want to sound like that writer that got fired.
Oh, you mean Bobby Ashley?
Yeah. No, but Elias, I remember talking to Elias one day, and I was like, I don't know how good of a player he really is as far as his music goes. But I say, man, that's where your money is. Your money is in that, in your music and your guitar and how well you can sing, opposed to how well you can wrestle. I mean, wrestling, you got to be able to go out there and do that as well. But invest your time in really becoming good at this right here, where you can actually sell out a show after the show, and then you become a star. Then you become, a dual star, to where you people looking at you for more than just one reason. So yeah, that's why I say that when we're talking about that.
I mean, does anyone remember what the Honky Tonk Man's finishing move was?
No,
I have no idea what it
Oh,
was.
it's shake, rattle, and roll, baby. Shake, rattle, and roll. That's what it was.
But like, I can't name two moves that Honky Tonk Man ever did, but I know that he's the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, and he was, entertaining coming down to the ring. Yeah, and I think that when you have a gimmick like a Fandango, especially, or even what's it called? Elias. I couldn't remember his name either for a minute. Bobby Ashley. But even with Elias, like you're right. That's the gimmick. All people want to do is see you with that guitar. All people want to do is see you dance at the beginning.
Nah, but one thing about all those guys, they will find themselves landing on their feet.
Sure.
There's so much out there right now. The world of this business, this wrestling thing is vast, man. And if you're good at what you do at your craft, you're gonna find some work out there. So, hey, man, good luck on your future endeavors. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
And your question for the win. In The Insider, Al Pacino's character works on which TV show?
Is it 60 Minutes?
And your winner!
The Movie Trivia Schmodown, the most competitive movie trivia league in the world.
MMA or boxing, it's like you want to see the two best scrapping it out.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
2 points. Movie release date.
Wow.
Danny DeVito.
That's correct. You mother! The rising sun! And your winner!
Championships, factions, the best in the world play here.
I'm ready to schmo down. Throw down with the schmo down.
Kevin Goodenough Smith!
This is why we play the Schmodown.
The professional sports league of movie trivia. This isn't bar trivia. This is the Movie Trivia Schmodown.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys.
You get caught up over there? You putting a bet on the Bucks over there? What are you doing?
I was thinking about them, fear of the deer, man.
Fear the
deer.
Damn
That's what
deer.
I'm thinking about.
Fear the damn deer. Hey, I know we've been talking a lot of pro wrestling. I think we got to talk about one more thing before we move on. What'd you think Friday night? Roman Reigns said he's cleaned out the division. He's beaten everyone there is to beat. And then Edge makes his return to SmackDown. First time we've seen him since WrestleMania, that triple threat match that was awesome between him and Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns for the title. And now this sets up Roman versus Edge at Money in the Bank. What do you think about this matchup, Book? Are you glad to see Edge back?
Yeah, man. Of course I am, man. Edge is trying to finish the thing, man, more than anything. And I can feel where he's coming from. More than anything, I definitely can feel where he's coming from. Was it one of those eyebrow raisers? I think so. I think the people was like, "Oh yeah, we got something here, baby." One thing about the old school, man, is it ain't dead yet.
No.
That's one thing about the old school. It ain't dead yet. That's why a lot of times we keep having to go back to it in certain ways. That's why it's still a lot of chatter about if John Cena's coming back. If John Cena's going to have one last match. All the talk about John Cena sucks. But people still want to see him.
Yeah.
The Rock. Right now, if The Rock was to come back and have a match against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, don't think it's not going to be sold out with people hanging from the rafters.
Absolutely. It would be.
And that's the thing, man. That's the thing right there. The old school, man. It ain't dead. And Edge right now, getting himself in the best shape he possibly can. Going out there and saying, "Hey, man, let's do this. Let's run it. Let's run it back." I like that. Let's see exactly what Edge still got left in the tank, because we all know this is Edge's last hurrah.
Oh, 100%. And that's why I think like you don't waste time with Edge. Don't let him sit on the bench for 3 months, 6 months, 5 months. Don't let him do that. I mean, he had that tricep tear, and since he's been back, I can say this without a shadow of a doubt. Since Edge has come back at the Royal Rumble in 2020, everything that he has done has felt special and important. Everything. Even winning the Rumble this year, it felt like a big deal. The WrestleMania match might have been the best match on the entire... No, it was the best match on the entire show. That main event was the best thing on the whole WrestleMania both days. And for him to come back and work Roman, who is another guy who, since he came back at SummerSlam in 2020, has felt like the biggest deal that we've had in a long time, the biggest star, I should say, that we've had in a long time. Roman Reigns legitimizing himself as a main event draw. Put these two guys in the ring against each other in front of a crowd. Money in the Bank's going to have a crowd in front of them.
Yeah.
You want to sell some tickets? Edge versus Roman would get me to drive to Dallas, Texas, or wherever the show's going to be so I could see these two lock horns in person. So I think that that Edge coming back, this is the best time. This is the best time. And now you finally get a spear versus spear match that we've all wanted to see, that we thought we were going to see with Roman and Goldberg a couple years ago. So I think Edge being back, this makes sense. Now, I don't think that he's going to beat Roman.
Now, well, right now, Roman's been dominant, man. He's been a dominant champion, and I like that.
Yeah,
I like everything about the way Roman has been going out and performing. Putting himself, in a position where you feel like, man, it might could happen, and then Roman just say, "No, snatch the what is it?
Infinity Gauntlet."
Say what?
Are you talking about the Infinity Gauntlet, the brass ring? What are you talking about?
No, snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. That's what I was getting ready to say. That's you
were going like this. I thought you were talking about the Infinity Gauntlet, like the Thanos thing.
Bro, I'm trying to set up my lines, man. Trying to set them up. Okay, don't you know anything about that by now? Snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
That's funny.
Don't that sound good?
Sounds great.
Good stuff right there.
I love it.
All you guys out there in the chat, you got to set stuff up, man.
Look, I got one for you. You ready?
Yes, what's that?
Fear the deer.
You like that one, too.
That was good, right? That was good.
That's good stuff right there, John. Everybody's scared. Everybody's scared of the Bucks, man. Everybody's scared.
Oh.
I'm serious.
What you were saying about Roman?
No, I was just saying Roman's dominant right now. And I just like everything he's doing. It's giving the people some really, really good storytelling. And that's what I like about the business more than anything. And having someone like Edge, who's a guy he's from the old school. He's a storyteller. See how this thing play out. Like I say, it's Edge's last hurrah. And there's no better time than to do it right now with the crowd just now getting back into the business. There's not a whole, honestly, if I can be frank,
do it.
There's not a whole lot of contenders out there right now.
Well, do you want to know what I think is going to happen? I think that Roman goes out there, beats Edge decisively, right? Like, I beat him. It's over for Edge, right? Then it really only sets up one more person for him at SummerSlam. That's John Cena.
Okay.
To me, it's John Cena going for title number 17.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's not a whole lot of contenders out there.
Right.
And whose fault is that? Okay, don't blame me. Okay, first of all, okay, I don't want to see on Twitter Booker T saying it ain't ain't enough contenders out there. Don't blame me. I'm not on the roster. Okay, if I was on the roster, you could blame me. But for me, from the outside, I look at this like a boxing match or a boxing division. Who's in the division? Who do I got to look at and say, man, that's my next guy right there. You know, back in the day, Hogan had, you know, Orndorff. You know, he had the Barbarian. Yeah. You know what I mean? He had
King Kong Bundy.
You know, he had, you know, Andre the Giant. He had Big John Studd.
Ultimate Warrior.
He had a bunch of
men.
He had a bunch of contenders, man. The Macho Man, you dig it? You know, a bunch of stars and contenders, man. And so that's what I say right there. Do you guys agree with me in the chat or not? What are the contenders? And if there are some, who are they?
Who are they? Where are they? Shine Bright says, what do you think about Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston, former champion versus current champion? This coming up at Money in the Bank. These two guys are going to lock horns for the title. What do you think about it?
I'm hoping Bobby Lashley go out there and beat the hell out of Kofi Kingston.
Why you want him to do that?
I was about to say something. I'm about to get took off the air. But I say, let me not say that. You know,
good call.
But I'm hoping Bobby Lashley go out there and beat the hell out of Kofi Kingston like a heavyweight is supposed to do. All right, you go out there and you beat on this man, and you beat on this man. And you beat on him till he says, please, just don't beat me anymore. That's the way I feel like this thing should work out.
I agree with you that I think that Bobby will win this match, should win this match. He should do it in dominating fashion to continue to build him, especially if they're going to give him Bobby Brock. I'm still shooting for that for SummerSlam. I hope this match is a little bit more competitive, though, than Kofi versus Brock. Like, I don't want to see that, right? I don't want to see a 5-second match or whatever that one was. I want to see Kofi get a little something. You know, give him a little something.
Well,
give him a little something.
For me, this match should be like Bobby is playing Beat the Clock.
He's got to do it quicker than Brock? Is that what you're going to say?
It's got to be quick, man. Straight into the hurt lock. You know what I mean? Just throw a punch.
Don't do that.
Just throw one punch, land right in the hurt lock. You know what I mean? You bunch of that right there.
Oh, tap it out. He's tapping out on the arm. I was like, what are you doing? Are you saying you're looking like a junkie looking for a fix? Like, what are you doing? It's like, I didn't know what you were doing. I don't want that quick.
You know what that is, man? That's tapping, man. That's what that is. That's the way I want it to be. That's the way this match is going down. It ain't gonna be no competition. That's my prediction. You know what I mean? That is my prediction.
That's what's gonna happen. Okay, we'll see. I hope not, but we'll see. But I still think that after Money in the Bank, look, you're trying to sell out a SummerSlam card on the same night as Pacquiao. 2 matches that would sell it out for me. Roman Reigns versus John Cena. Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. Those are the 2 biggest matches you can make right now in WWE. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and there again, we will be competing on that night. So they're going to have to bring in the big guns. They're going to have to bring in the big guns. They're going to bring the guys from the old school. You know what? And I still got my white boots. I still got them. Just in case something pop. Just in case something chop off. All right? Hey, guys, you're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Superplex from the champion. If enough damage hasn't been done, point. She's looking for the 450. Oh! From the top rope, she's calling for shooting star press. Shooting star press cover. 1, 2, 3.
Shoop! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. We're getting close to wrapping this thing up there again.
I know.
Guys, for a sticker. Man, this thing is showing by quick today, man. I swear, man. We're about quick. Every time we take a break away for a second, man, we come back, that show goes by like that.
I don't know what that's about.
We're having some fun. Hopefully, you guys been having some fun with us. But yeah.
I wanted to ask you some. There's a couple UFC stories I think we should hit on before we leave today.
Hey, let's not forget about that Tank Davis.
Tank Davis.
Barrios went down this weekend in the ATL, man. I was wishing I could have been there. I didn't make it, but I definitely went there in spirit, as well as watching it on pay-per-view. It was awesome spectacle of an exhibition.
Well, I want to talk about that fight. I want to talk about the UFC stuff. I want to ask you, though, one thing real quick. I have seen a couple of things, you know what I mean, on your Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
And there's 3 things that I saw today, and I just want to ask you to clear them up. I want you to tell me if this is wiki fact or wiki fiction. Okay, there's 3 things on it.
A lot of times, man, when I look at Wikipedia, it's fake news. But go ahead. I'll tell you if it's right or not.
Okay, because there's 3 facts I want to pull up. First one is this. Booker T in high school was a drum major and also a star football and basketball player. Was this true or false?
Well, the first part was right.
You were a drum major at Jackie Yates High School?
I was a drum major, and I never played any sports. I never played football or basketball. That's just, not something that they're going to find. Any fact or photos of Booker T in the basketball outfit or, doing anything like that, especially not on the football field. Hell no.
Okay, here's fact number 2 then. Fact number 2 that's on your Wikipedia page. Booker T is not a true Texan. He was actually born in Plain Dealing, Louisiana. Is that true or false?
That's true. That is
true.
I was born in Plain Dealing, Louisiana, but I am a true Texan. I've been here since I was 5.
I think that counts.
And I've paid a boatload of taxes here in Texas.
That makes you a resident.
It makes me a resident. It makes me a Houstonian. But yeah, that's fact.
And the final one, wiki fact or wiki fiction. Booker T's real name is Robert T.O. Huffman Jr.
That's false. I don't know why. Sometimes people call me and they want to act like they know me, and they'll call me Robert, and I have to correct them every time, and they feel stupid every time I do. Because that's what I saw on Wikipedia, and I go, well, Wikipedia is wrong. No, my real name is Booker T. Huffman Jr., and the T stands for nothing. It's just a T period. That's what's on my birth certificate, and that's what my father's name was, Booker T. Huffman Sr. I'm a junior.
So no T.O.
No T.O. No
Robert.
Yeah.
So your name is Booker T.
Just Booker T.
Huh?
And I didn't change my name or anything like that. That's been my name since birth, Booker T. Huffman Jr.
Okay, well, there you go. You cleared it up. Wiki fact or wiki fiction there. I appreciate it. But let's talk about that Gervonta Tank Davis, Mario Barrios. I mean, we both had Tank going into that one. Ellerby seemed pretty confident that he was going to do it, but he's going up 2 weight classes against a guy who came to fight. Let's give Mario Barrios some credit, man. This guy came to scrap. He might have been outclassed, but he came to fight.
You know what, man? I wouldn't necessarily say he was outclassed or anything like that. Tank was a better fighter, but Mario Barrios actually, he came to fight. He came to win. He came to hold on to his championship. Walking in the champion definitely makes you feel a certain way, as well as being undefeated makes you feel a certain way as well. Of course, Tank, he's no stranger to those same accomplishments. But, when you're the champ, man, you don't want to lose. I mean, when you're in front of your people, you don't want to lose. But I tell you, Tank Davis, he went out and showed why he is truly the guy. And I tell you, he's a star, man. He's a diamond that's all polished up. One thing when we talked to Leonard Ellerby, the the man behind the E, Mr. Leonard Ellerby. When we talked to Leonard, the question was, the maturity of Tank over these last 5 years, and just to watch this young man, he seems like you could see the wheels turning in his head when he's outside the ring, when watching All Access. Being a guy now that's got a family, that's got a kid, seemed like he's I wouldn't necessarily say fully grounded or anything like that, but he's definitely in a different place than he was 6-7 years ago. So I'm saying, man, to watch this kid go out and take care of his business the way he did with Barrios, to come up with a huge knockout victory in the 11th round, the way he did it, not that he didn't go out there and do it in grand fashion or anything like that, but he fought for 11 rounds and got it done. He's the guy that moved up 2 weight classes, fighting a guy much bigger and get it done. So to watch a guy like that, for me, I'm thinking about the craft. I'm not just thinking about the knockout. I'm thinking about how he's plotting his way through this terrain to get to his point, and that was the knockout in the 11th round. Not taking a lot of damage along the way or anything like that. He took a couple of shots, but still, the fighter, the boxer, the pugilist, it's about the defense just as much as the offense. And to watch that young man go out and do his work, it was beautiful. Coming off that knockout over Leo Santa Cruz, and then to back it up 2 weight classes higher. If that's not putting the world on notice that, hey, Gervonta Tank Davis is here, nothing will.
What's the next big fight for him? I mean, who out there is next? If you were booking him, if you were promoting him, you would say, man, this is a good matchup. This is who we need to target. This is going to sell pay-per-views. This is going to solidify me even further as the new star in boxing. Who you trying to match him up with?
Well, it's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk. People talking about Ryan Garcia, okay? Ryan Garcia would be like a T-bone steak on the plate, cooked perfectly and seasoned, to perfection for someone like Tank Davis. They also pitching names like Devin Haney, who's a really, really good fighter. But is he of Tank Davis caliber? He's undefeated. He's a guy that, Ryan Garcia, he's undefeated. He looks good. There's going to be a lot of girls there to see this fight. Will it be a draw? Oh, man, my God. Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, that fight right there, man, there'd be so many girls there. It'd be so much money, pay-per-view money to be made off a fight like that. But it could be the end of a Ryan Garcia's career and all of the money that potentially could be made with someone like him. So my answer is there is no good matchup for Gervonta Tank Davis out there right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a pretty bold prediction there. Pretty bold prediction. But congratulations to Tank. You knew he came out swinging, and to win the way that he did via TKO against Mario Barrios, up 2 weight classes, and then does a backflip to boot. It was it
was awesome, man.
It was a great backflip. It was phenomenal.
I've never seen him do that before. I don't remember ever seeing him do that before.
No, I mean, he went out there and he executed it to perfection. It was a 10 out of 10 backflip. But congrats over there to all the money team and Tank Davis and Leonard Ellerby on a great card overall and a great win for their new star, Tank Davis. So we'll see if something happens for him in the future. If not, I mean, obviously he's going to have a fight, but what the next big fight is, I'm sure we'll find out here in the next coming months.
As well as Erickson Lubin went out there and put that boy Jason Rosario on ice as well, man. So to see Lubin back on track after the Jamel Charlo fight, moving up for his first title bout and get knocked out to get back on the horse, to get right back into title contention, because that fight with Jason Rosario was it was an eliminator. So it puts
the battle
Erickson Lubin right back.
Battle, man.
Between
both of them.
To fight Charlo one more time. Let's run it back and see if the same thing happened. Me personally, I don't think so. I'm looking forward to that being a really, really good fight.
Okay, well, you know what? We did have more in the world of combat sports, but I think we're going to have to save it to Wednesday, Book. I think we're going to have to save it to Wednesday. Too much stuff. Thank you for everyone with the super chats, though. That's what made this show go by so fast, and I appreciate them.
Definitely, man. Appreciate super chats every time, man, because you guys are helping us do something in some way, shape, or form with the super chat. So we appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody in the chat letting us know exactly where you're from. Sticking with us, man, here inside the Hall of Fame, doing it like it's supposed to be done on a regular basis. But like Brad say, Wednesday we'll be right back, same place, same time. Do yourself a favor. Come on inside the Hall of Fame and get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Bradley, appreciate you, dog. Right now, though, we up out of here. See y'all in a couple of days.
Can you dig it, you sucker?